Hey everybody! Oh, this is Nikki with Delicate Tension Tarot, and this is the beginning stages of me starting to do readings based upon zodiac sign. This reading is going to be for Scorpio. It can apply to Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or just if you have heavy Scorpio placement in your charts. I'm really curious about what's going on with you guys too. I don't know why. I just feel so curious. Maybe you're feeling curious right now. I mean, aren't you guys curious anyways in a very taboo way sometimes? That might be a generalization, but I feel like it's true. Okay, so this reading is going to be for the last half of September, so September 15th through the 30th. Now, we have had some really interesting things taking place this month. First off, the Pisces full moon on Friday the 13th, and then we have Saturn going direct on the 18th. So I feel like there is a lot of changes going on. I did talk about that in my general collective energy reading, where we really are just kind of like wrapping up cycles and trying to do things differently in a new way. Really letting go of the habits and behaviors that might have held us back in the past and wanting to embrace a lot of new things. So what are you guys doing? Let's see. Show me what's happening for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising for September 15th through the 30th. Let's see what's happening for Scorpio's Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for September 15th through the 30th. And we have the Devil. See, I was kind of talking about taboo stuff. What's going on with you guys? Now, the Devil can be about, I mean, we can look at it as a card pertaining to the occult, but really for me, it's about the things that we feel bound or chained to. These can be people, places, things, behaviors. It can also tie into substance abuse. Really, it's an illusion too, because the chains around both of their necks are so loose that they could easily slip them off and walk away. But they kind of feel like they have this thing that's constantly looming over them, either watching them, controlling them, or dictating their behavior. So since this is kind of a past energy, maybe that's something that you moved through. Maybe it's something you're kind of trying to break free from. And I think you're slowly progressing out of this energy. Two, if some of you out there are practitioners of the occult, or you do, or are studying into deeper, more taboo aspects of those things, I do see you kind of being in this apprenticeship energy. I do see you working with others, learning from others. I mean, I could get really freaky with this explanation, but I'm not going to do that. Some of you might be enjoying having a third party, but that is very limited, and I feel like that is only going to pertain to like 1 or 2 people out there. Show me what's going on for the last card for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for the last half of September from the 15th through the 30th. Show me what's going on for Scorpio for the last half of September from the 15th through the 30th. Oh, okay. So we have the Ace of Wands in the upright, and we have the Ace of Swords in reverse. Very interesting. I feel like I'm going to have to pull clarifiers to really digest this a little more. Because this can, I mean, you know, if I was reading for anybody else and just kind of like sitting at the table and stuff like this came out, if I'm going to be perfectly honest, this does look very like multiple relationship energy. It is highly sexual and creative energy. So some of you might be feeling that way at this time, or you may be exploring that a little further. Now the Ace of Swords in reverse, though, I feel like either someone's getting cut out or there's this behavior that needs to get cut out. And maybe someone is either requesting this of you or you're just realizing this on your own. Maybe this is the cycle and the behavior that needs to change. Clarify the Devil for me. Clarify the Devil for Scorpio. And we have the Knight of Cups. So yeah, there may be a need to probably pull back a little bit from the sexual energy. You know, like I said, with stuff like this, it's total free will. Your choice is your choice. If this is an energy that you can handle well, and this is an energy where it's just a part of your life and it works for you, by all means, continue doing that. But it's conflicting because with the Knight of Cups, it really is chasing your heart's desire. But at the same time, you feel bound to this behavior. So it's very intriguing to me. If you feel bound to the behavior, then why are you still repeating it? Clarify the Three of Pentacles for me, for Scorpio, for September 15th through the 30th. We have the Chariot. Okay. Slow down, guys. I just heard that song in my head that's just kind of like, slow down, you're moving too fast. So just pump the brakes a little bit. I do feel like you guys are moving into a more balanced energy with the Chariot being here. But it's one of those things where it's like, because all of this is still in the beginning stages, just take some time with it. I mean, really allow yourself to learn and understand what it is that's happening at this time, especially if you're moving through changes of kind of separating yourself from this type of behavior. I don't know. I just want you to be mindful. Two, this could have been you separating from a very toxic situation and kind of going out on your own. It could be that, and you kind of like putting yourself out there, meeting and working with other people, keeping it light, just building, maybe it's building your relationships first based on like friendship or really like getting to know each other. This could be relationships at work. So let's clarify the Ace of Wands energy with the Ace of Swords in reverse. Let's clarify this Ace of Wands. Clarify the Ace. Okay. Clarify the Ace of Wands for me for Scorpio. September 15th through the 13th. And the Ace of Wands is clarified by the Ace of Swords in the upright. Interesting. What is the truth for you? You know, I will say too, what is really cool about this card is normally this usually looks like this when it's in its upright. So I do find it interesting that even in its upright, it looks reversed. So I'm just going to actually take that as a reversal. I think it's really funny, though, that these are clarifying one another. I think it's time for you to cut some stuff out, especially if you are removing yourself from something that you've been bound to for a long time, whether it's a person, place, or thing. Give yourself some time to breathe. Give yourself some time to really get reacquainted with yourself and what it is that you want and what you want to work towards. I don't think it's a time to rush in. You know, I'm hearing the phrase, you know, only fools rush in. These are a lot of older songs, huh? So just be mindful this time, please. I do understand that Scorpionic energy is usually highly sexual and very creative in that aspect. So if you are feeling that urge and you're wanting to express that urge, just make sure everybody's on the same page with you. Make sure if you are putting yourself out there on the scene, or you are meeting people and getting to know people, especially if it's in a work context, try to keep that separate. You know, just from what I do know from other people's experiences, that usually doesn't work out very well. So just try to A, keep it out of the workplace, and B, if you need to satisfy that urge, make sure whoever you're choosing to satisfy that urge understands the context in which it's happening. I.e., if you are looking for a one-night stand, don't take the dude home who's looking for something more than that, or the chick. So just, like I said, be mindful. Make sure you really know what's going on at the heart of the matter before you jump into it. And make sure you understand where you're at right now. Because I feel like the energy at the end is a little confusing. Let's clarify the Ace of Swords in reverse, please. Let's clarify the Ace of Swords in reverse for Scorpio from the 15th through the 30th. Okay, and we have the Knight of Swords. Like I said, slow down a bit. Knight of Swords energy to me is so fast, and it's someone who comes in, causes a whirlwind, leaves, and then doesn't even really, like, to be perfectly honest, like, give a shit about the carnage that they leave behind. So like I said, please make sure that if you are getting involved with people at this time, make sure that they understand what it is that you want out of the situation. And that way you can kind of save yourself from dealing with energy like this, or being the person who's causing the energy, which then causes an issue. Yes, please be mindful how you're communicating. Make sure you're communicating clearly at this time. If you are getting wrapped up in the whole whirlwind of possibly maybe going out and drinking more often than usual, meeting people that way and then taking them home, maybe take a step back from that. Like I've always said, I don't try to tell people what to do. You do what you do. You are a grown person. If that is the way that you would like to operate in your life, I don't have any problems with that. It's not my life. Just based upon what I see, I would urge you not to, or at least to be very mindful about that behavior at this time. I mean, we are looking at a 15-day span here. So, I mean, I feel like you can hold out for 2 weeks, or you can at least just play the game a little safer. Because I do feel like whoever it is at the heart of this situation, if it is somebody you work with, this could cause a lot of problems. I also feel like if this person is already tied to someone else, even if they are loosely dating them, it could cause problems as well. So just look before you leap, okay? Just look before you leap. I'm going to pull one more card to clarify the overall energy of this. Give me one card to give Scorpio a message for September 15th through the 30th. All right, so you have 3 cards. You have Rebirth, you have Breathe, and then you have Not Yet. So yeah, please hold your horses on this. I think that you are probably in such a phase of being released and unchained from this energy that kind of like held you down for so long, that I think you're just really in it to win it when it comes to having fun and just having a good time. So maybe heal a little bit before you kind of like throw yourself out there in such an intense way. Because I really do see that somebody could get hurt in the process here. And I don't think that that's your intention. Honestly, I just think you're so focused on what it is that's going on with you right now and just being free from that toxic energy or that really unhealthy energy that you were chained to for some time, I'm not going to say you're not really noticing or really caring how other people feel. I'm just saying that maybe your attention is diverted a little bit just towards yourself. Okay? So I hope you have a wonderful rest of the 2 weeks. You know, just play it safe. It's better to be safe than sorry sometimes, especially in the realm of people's emotions and feelings. Okay, so I love you, Scorpio. Have a wonderful rest of the month.